Thank you, everyone, for allowing me to speak to you today about I think what I believe, and I think we all would agree is pretty important. We all have to make a decision. We all have to call a play. We all got to take some risk. We all have to improve. And these are the things that I'm going to talk about for my short time here today. Terry sent me some information last night, and I've been thinking about this, believe it or not, for I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks now, and so it just kind of fit right in together. Had heard a short talk by John Maxwell about the things that we need to do to grow. And all of us that are here in the room today in the Zoom call, we're here to grow. And team, I prayed and asked the Lord, let me say something to the team. This is not about Ricky. It's not about. I want to say something to the team that can really help, that can really penetrate their thought process, and not just information, but really and truly revelation. Because information is cognitive. Read chapter 5, read chapter 4, read chapter 3. There's a test on Friday. Remember that, just multiple choice is cognitive. But revelation goes a little deeper, and it makes us go on to do things that we ordinarily would not do just by being informed. And this is really, really important. All of us have a certain amount of time here on this earth. And so the first thing I'm going to talk about, what Terry said, is call to play. And I hope y'all can see that. Call to play, take risks, and improve. Now, everybody knows about Deion Sanders, and he was called to Colorado, and he had all kind of chances to go all kind of different kind of places, but he was called to Colorado. Now, Auburn had a chance. I think he interviewed him as well, but they didn't. Auburn wasn't ready for Deion, okay, because he's going to bring his own swagger, he's going to bring his own style, he's going to bring his own entourage, he's going to bring his own social media team, and he's going to build it up. But they wasn't quite ready for that yet. Now, Bo Jackson, who has a home here now, wanted him to come, and also Charles Barkley. But now we got Coach Freeze, and I'm all on Team Freeze now. But we wish he had come. But you see what has happened in Colorado in a short period of time. Now I want to show you what they said. This is pretty amazing. What I heard when I saw this little piece here. Sanders and his veteran staff have been busy scouring the nation for talent. The Hall of Fame NFL player, known then as Primetime, has also posted on social media for recruits to reach out to him as well. And here's what he said: I ain't hard to find. Now, Coach Sanders is a big time guy. Okay, he has a whole lot more going on than us. This guy has his net worth is about 50 million. He ain't got it, but recruiting is necessary for his program to go to the next level. And so if Primetime, that's a celebrity, can go into a mother's living room and recruit, what in the world is preventing us? Sometimes, you know what it is, team? It's pride. We gotta be real careful not to ever think we've made it. Mike said we gotta remember where we came from. Now we gotta make a decision. I'm not talking about this way or that way or the other way. We got to make a decision, team. And not only we got to make a decision, we got to manage the decision. So I've decided I'm going to go to a 5th diamond. I've decided I'm going to go to a 7th diamond or 8th or whatever it is. I've decided I'm going to be an RVP. Well, how do we manage that decision? The things that we do every single day. That's how we manage those decisions. Because if we don't, we're going to find ourselves talking loud and really and truly saying nothing. Okay, I've been guilty of that. I'm sure we've all been guilty of talking loud and saying nothing. So we got to be able to make that kind of decision and move upon it. And the next thing, what is a decision? How do you define what a decision is? A conclusion, a resolution reached after consideration. So for me, I'm talking, and team, listen, what I'm saying here now, this is what I got to do for our team. You want to run that play that your RVP is calling? Okay, run that play that he's calling, that she's calling. And if you're getting results, wonderful. But I've got to make a decision after thinking about the process. What is necessary to get this done? And then once I've done that, I can truly say then, all right, I've made a decision. But until then, team, I really and truly can't say I've made a decision. I can say I'm making a decision, or I'm looking to get some things done in a period of time, and I'm deliberating and thinking this thing over. But I really can't truly say until I've considered the process and considered the journey and considered the time that I got to cut and put into my schedule, and the folks I got to cut out of my schedule, and the things I just cannot do. I got to delegate and eliminate some things until I've considered what's necessary to get the job done. It just simply will not happen. And I see a lot of folks get frustrated because they haven't done that. So college is a decision. When a child decides to go to college, that child has to, well, sometimes the parents decide, and the child goes and just parties for 4 years. But either way it goes, they got to decide to study. They got to put the time in. They got to, all night long, sometimes studying, because they made a decision right here 4 years from now to get out of college and to have their lives in a much better place in the corporate world. It's a decision. And then, team, not only that, if I decide to get a job, employment is a decision. To clock in and clock out. Not to stay in bed until 10 o'clock in the morning when I got to be there at 9 o'clock. It's a decision to work. It's a decision to adhere to the demands of that employer, that manager, that superintendent, that company CEO. It's a decision for me to submit to authority of another person's job. Well, that same rule applies to everything else. It's a decision to get. When I got married, that was a decision. You see, the Lord has blessed me now to be married for 37 years to the woman that I love more than life itself. Well, when I married her 37 years ago, it was a decision. But now I didn't have a lot of sense then. Okay, I mean I was, but I knew that I had to make a decision to be a one-woman man. When I married Team and put that ring on my finger, I couldn't be a gigolo. I couldn't be, all these kind of things. It was the decision, a commitment. And I had to be able to think it through. You understand what I'm saying? I had to look down the road and say, okay, Ricky, this is before God and man. You've committed. You said, I do, or I will. You committed that you're going to love and hold and care for in sickness and in health and all the things that go along with those vows. I didn't have the ability to look down the road and see the thing we had to deal with and this and all the rest of it. But I did have the ability to decide. We all have the same decision and the ability right now to call a plate. It was a risk. She probably took a risk on me more than anything. I didn't take a risk on her, but she took a risk on this guy, on Ricky. You see, but then also I had to improve. Because if I did not improve as a human being, as knowing what it means to protect and provide and take care of and look out for and stand in the place of and will be willing to take a bullet for. If I didn't make a decision to improve, hey, it wasn't going to work out too good. I'm going to tell you that right now. Then also, parenthood is a decision. Parenthood is a decision, team, because you can have a child. You raise a child from an infant. You take the child to elementary and junior high school. You pay for all the college. The child gets out of college, get a good job. The child comes to visit you, and the child stops by Chick-fil-A on the way home. The child buys 10 chicken nuggets. Okay, the child comes home. The child said, "Dad," you said, "Dad," but you said, "Baby, give me one of those chicken nuggets." The child says, "I only have 10. I'm not going to give you one." And your mind starts thinking about all the hundreds of thousands of dollars you spent on this child, okay? And they won't give you one chicken nugget. Okay, but you can't hold a grudge because that's what's called parenthood, all right? Kids are selfish. That's just the nature of it. And so if a parent is not ready for all of the things they got to go through with kids and children and mindsets and attitudes, and they don't like you for a while, then they love you for a while, they don't like you for a while. Hey, that's called parenthood. It's a decision to do that. And team, listen to this. I'm not going to preach to you right now, but salvation for me now was a decision for me. You know why it was a decision for me, team? Because listen, I was born in the country, raised by a single mother that raised 4 boys. We had nothing. We had an outside toilet. I'm telling you right now, we had night pots. We had one room in the house. It was really, really rough. So I could have gotten out there in those streets and got lost. Were it not for salvation, which gave me the mindset not to conform, it was a decision, not to conform to the world, but transform by the renewing of my mind, I could have gotten lost. So many influences out there saying it's all right to do this, it's all right to do that, and you can do this, you can smoke a little reefer, you can drink a little this, and you can snort a little this. It's okay. You're young, it's not going to kill you. You got time to recover. I had to make a decision to leave that lifestyle, and that saved my life. Yes, things were lawful for me. Things were lawful, but not expedient. Things were lawful for me, but they didn't edify where I was going. It was a decision for me. And I got to tell you this, team, I want to tell you something else. Primerica is a decision. Now, I said all that to get up to this point right here. Primerica is a decision. Now, what kind of decision, Ricky? What do you mean a decision? Well, number one, we got to make prospecting a way of life. Now, listen, you know what I know for some of us, that's almost like blasphemy, right? You just almost like a curse word. I've heard Terry say, you don't have to like prospecting. You just got to do it. Now, that goes for me most definitely. I got to do more of that. This is the truth. Now, listen, it's so many ways to prospect now with all this new world that we're living in now. And as the Roman said, you can literally prospect now at home, not leaving the house, on social media. Deion Sanders, primetime, this is what he's doing. He has a prospecting system on social media and bringing in 5-star recruits. And I mean, it's amazing what's going on up there in Colorado. But it's because he learned he's known the system and brought the system to Colorado. And we got a prospect too, team. However we decide to do it, we just got to do it and do a whole lot of it. Now, that's the truth. Then also another important thing we got to keep in mind in making a decision. We got to set goal-aligned appointments. You know why I got to do this, team? If I have a goal to get the 5th diamond, and by God's grace, that's the goal, that's the decision, either made or making. Then to go on from that point. Now, I got to understand that the appointments that I go on has to be aligned with that income goal. Because if not, there's going to be a lot of internal frustration and aggravation. You see, and that same thing applies with us on the call today. Another important thing is show the same presentation. You see, as a coach, we all are building our own teams as coaches. And listen, that's why I say you got to run the play that your coach called. Terry is my coach. And then, of course, all of y'all are coaches or RVPs. Hey, run the play that your coach called. Now, you listen to other coaches, and a lot of different you're going to hear, but run the play that your coach calls. Because his stack of money is a little bit higher than yours. He's doing a whole lot more than you doing. So run the play that your coach is calling, team. This is very, very important. And then use the same presentation. You see, if we're coaching a team, and now here I am, I'm an Auburn fan, but I'm trying to go over here to Alabama, I'm trying to go, hey, we got to run the same play. When A.L. Williams, back in the A.L. Williams days, Art had a flip chart. And man, if you use something other than that flip chart in the A.L. Williams days, you were looked at like an alien. Who are you? What are you doing? How in the world can you dress out in a different uniform? And I'm saying this to the new team players because it's really important, because brand new team players are so creative. I want to add this. I want to add that. I want to add the other. Hey, listen, I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm not trying to offend you. But run the play that your leader calls. Okay? I promise you they know more than you. Okay? So because if you go in the home, you're in that house for an hour and a half. If you camp out in the home, just camp out, you're there for an hour and a half doing a presentation, I'm telling your team, it ain't going to be good, okay? We got to simplify to multiply. We got to simplify to multiply. Now, that's the truth. And then also, listen to this. What we got to do here, we got to recruit to build. We got to recruit to, in other words, when I bring somebody on board, my mindset now, I got to run a 3x3 as quick as we can, because that's a quick way to get you to district leader during field training. And we don't get it done during field training, now we have to revert to the company guidelines, okay? But there's a simple system during field training to get you promoted really, really quick. 3x3, 3 recruits, 3,000 in premium. We want to get it done as quick as we can, 30 days, 60, but definitely in 90. We go beyond that point. Well, now I'm going to send you the company guidelines, okay? It's a different, so we've got to recruit to build. This is what we got to do. What I'm talking to you about right now, team, is Ricky Lee Pitts. This is what he has to do right now for the team to build. And maybe you got to do something similar. I don't know. Another thing is we got to think and work like a coach. Now, I have coaches that are friends of mine, all right? Head coaches at the university level. And team, the work ethic that they have is insane. I'm not going to even get into how those coaches work. See? How they never turn it off. I'm telling you right now, how certain times of the year I can't even text them. They don't respond. I can't call them. They don't respond. I was talking to a head coach the other day, and I want to meet some of these other head coaches. Can you help me? She said, I'll help you after the season is over. You understand? All I want is 15 minutes to get some names. After the season is over. Conversation over, Ricky. The conversation is over now. You see, team, we got to get to, in other words, depending on where we want to go. Now, we all don't want to do the same thing. We all don't want to go to the same place. But depending on where you want to go, we got to think like a coach. We got to act like a coach. We got to work like a coach. These guys are watching film, so many football films and basketball films. So many kids, they got to watch the play. They're traveling during recruiting season. I don't know if they have time to eat. I'm just saying, these winning coaches. And not only that, they got to coach the coaches. And the coaches that's coaching, linebacker, fullback coaches, halfback coaches, you see, tight end coaches, these guys also got to eat it, sleep it, and breathe it, and love it. Now, you may say, Rick, I don't know if I want to do that. And I understand what you're saying. I don't know if I want to do that, Ricky. Hey, I'm not trying to scare you, team. I'm simply saying this. If you want to be a doctor, you want to be a lawyer, you ain't going to do it going to school one day a week. All right? Now, I'd be lying to you if I told you I'm going to call you doctor this, in 4 weeks. And we got to get to the point with these upfront contracts that we upfront with the people and tell them the truth. This is what it's going to take now to win. I got to tell myself this a whole lot more. I'm going to tell you right now. You see, embrace personal development. This is what I got to do. I got to embrace personal development. You see, the mind that I have now is not the mind that's going to take me to $1 million. Common sense tells me that. I've got to transform. See, I've got to change the mindset. You understand? Something got to change. And sometimes change don't happen right away. Sometimes it takes time to change. You see. Also, we got to emphasize attendance. We got to encourage our team. Hey, look, y'all need to show up. And then those that don't show up, love them. I love you, but if you don't show up, if you don't come to practice, it's going to be hard to put you in the game, because you're going to cause us to lose. I love you, but just you can sit on the bench, ride the bench. You keep your uniform on. You're going to smell real good at the end of the game. You got your same cologne on. You ain't going to get musty. You can dress out, everything. But we can't put you in the game if you don't come to practice. Now, team, we understand that athletically. We understand that. But we can't do it. Now, I'm running out of time here. So now, number one, we got to do this, team. Here's number one. Call a play. Is it going to be popular all the time? No, ma'am. No, sir. Number two, take a risk. When Benavia left East Tennessee as a head coach, and went to Michigan, yes, there's going to be more money. Yes, there's a chance to get into a Power 5 situation. I understand, but she took a risk and had the ability and the mindset and the mental toughness to get that done. And then look at this. The last one team is improved. And you know, that's all I got to. I'm going to cut it down right here because I think that's my 20 minutes. Team, I want to encourage you. Let's all of us do a personal evaluation. Let's make a personal commitment. Let's make a decision, but let's manage our decisions with our daily activities. This is what I got to do. Because I'm telling you right now, team, it's easy to stay in the bed till 8 o'clock in the morning. And you can't be an entrepreneur in the bed at 8 a.m.